training guide is going to be on personal protective equipment in the workplace. The learning objectives of this training session is to, upon completion of this training, the employee should be allowed to understand the following: when PPE is necessary, what PPE is necessary, how to properly don, doff, adjust, and wear PPE, the limitations of PPE, the proper care, maintenance, useful life, and disposal of the PPE. PPE is also known as personal protective equipment. That can be clothing, helmets, goggles, gloves, and other garments or equipment that is designed to protect the wearer's body from injury or infection. The different types of PPE are masks, gloves, eye protection, footwear, clothing, and hearing. Masks can be used for a variety of different jobs: doctors, nurses. Right now in restaurants during the COVID times, you can wear masks as a form of PPE. PPE is used in hospitals, doctors' offices, clinical labs, construction jobs, chemical and hazmat operations, and the food industry. Topic 1, when is PPE necessary? Wherever there is a need to reduce the exposure or contact to any of these hazards. Physical hazards would be wearing steel-toe boots to where if something falls on your foot, it won't hurt you severely enough. The steel-toe will provide some sort of protection to that. For chemical, it would be face shields, masks, gloves, eye protection. If you get that in your eyes or contaminates your skin, it can be very bad and you could end up in the hospital. Same thing goes for the biological hazards as well. Topic 2, what PPE is necessary? It really depends on the job. Most jobs require some sort of PPE. However, doctors, welders, and hazmat workers definitely use a more in detail list of PPE items. For doctor, their typical PPE would be gloves, clothing, a face shield if they're conducting surgery, masks to deal with COVID and anything related to that, flu virus, stuff like that. A welder would definitely be a face shield while dealing with torches, and you don't want to look at the flare at all because that could damage your eyes in the long run. Gloves also have to be worn. Clothing so that you don't catch your clothes on fire. Specifically, you can wear fire resistant or flame resistant shirts, pants, hats, and steel-toe boots as well if you don't want to prevent you dropping something on your foot and potentially hurting yourself. For hazmat workers, they tend to wear hazmat suits. They tend to cover the entire body. However, you can wear gloves with a hazmat suit. Gloves also fill up or cover the hands from getting any contaminants in them. If they are disposable gloves, whenever you're done with that, you're going to need to dispose of those gloves properly. Topic 3, how to properly don, doff, adjust, and wear PPE. For this topic, I plan on showing a video on how to properly don, doff, adjust, and wear PPE, specifically in a construction workplace. The video is around 15 minutes long. and it consists of all the items as far as using PPE, when to take it off, how to take it off, how to size for it, and etc. Topic 4, the limitations of PPE. There's a lot of limitations of the PPE. PPE could restrict breathing, vision, communication, movement. PPE can also be very uncomfortable. It doesn't eliminate everything. Whenever you're wearing PPE, you can still get injured severely or minor injuries as well. PPE also makes people feel like, oh, just because I have PPE on, I'm okay and I'm secure and nothing bad will happen to me. That's never really the case. You can have a hard head-on at a construction site and something could hit you below the hard hat, and that is just something you would have to deal with. So PPE is very good, but it could also have its flaws if you don't properly use it or if you don't recognize the limitations of the PPE. Also, PPE has to be fitted to you specifically. For a respirator, you would need that fit specifically to your face and not anyone else's. You would need to go through the proper steps to get that fitted and know how to effectively take the PPE off of your face, or make sure not to loan it to anyone else because that PPE is fitted specifically for you. Topic 5 would be the proper care, maintenance, useful life, and disposal of PPE. Keep PPE away from chemicals, extreme temperatures, moisture. If the chemicals get into your PPE, it is pretty much ruined and you can't reuse it. It's very dangerous to do that. Extreme temperatures, for instance, if you have a pair of safety goggles instead of glasses and you leave the goggles in a hot car or a hot truck and the temperatures get over a certain amount of degrees, they could melt. Then you would have damaged PPE. Going into that, if your PPE is damaged or broken in any way, you must replace it immediately. You will need PPE at all times on the job if your company or OSHA demands it. You always will need to have your PPE. If you lose it, you have to replace it. If it's broken, you have to replace it, and so vice versa. Topic 5 continued. The proper care and maintenance, useful life, and disposal of PPE. PPE definitely has an expiration date. For instance, respirators have an expiration date of a year, and once they go out, you can no longer use that PPE or that respirator. If you don't use a respirator for that entire year, you probably still shouldn't use the respirator after its expiration date. It's not safe. It could work, but it's not a safe thing to do. You don't want to trust that. When you're disposing of your PPE that was properly cleaned, it can be put in a regular garbage can. However, if it's a contaminated PPE, it must be disposed by OSHA, by the directions of OSHA or the company. Companies could have different ways of disposing their PPE. For instance, a construction company might have a different type of disposal process than a pesticide company, because a pesticide, if that gets in your skin or gets on your clothes, that could cause bodily harm or potentially hurt someone else, or if it's thrown in the trash and it falls out of the trash and get in the water, it can lead to a lot of different problems as well. At the completion of this training session, I will administer a post quiz. The post quiz will be timed, and it will be 15 minutes and 25 questions. The quiz will consist of true, false, and multiple choice questions. Once the quiz is complete, there will be I will give the students time to discuss any questions they've had about the quiz or the training session as a whole. Whenever that is complete, I will dismiss the students I will let them leave, and in order to complete this training session, the employees must score, or the trainees must score a 75% above on the quiz. Attendance is absolutely mandatory. PPE is a necessary component to businesses across the workforce. Everyone needs it, and everyone needs to be properly trained and know what to do and when to do it, what to wear, how to wear it, and vice versa. Trainees must exhibit active participation. If one of the trainees isn't really paying attention but still passes the quiz, or if someone is sleeping, that won't consider as passing. They need to be involved and give ideas or examples about when they've had to wear PPE or something along the lines of that, to where I'm gaining their knowledge and they know exactly what is happening and what's going on, and they'll be able to take what I will teach them in the training session and use that in their everyday lives. Thank you.